World War II, the war that changed everything. Episode 4, Turning the Tide, Midway and Stalingrad. By 1942, the Axis powers had reached their peak. Across Europe, Hitler's armies stretched from the Atlantic to the edges of Russia. Across the Pacific, Japan's empire dominated vast oceans and islands. It seemed unstoppable, a new world order rising from conquest and fear. But history would turn in two places, thousands of miles apart. Explore 4 defining chapters from the frozen streets of Stalingrad to the sunlit waves of Midway battles that changed not just the war, but the destiny of nations. Chapter 1. The Siege of Stalingrad. Hitler's Gamble. In the summer of 1942, Hitler launched his most ambitious campaign, yet Operation Barbarossa had failed to crush the Soviet Union, so now he aimed for its heart. Stalingrad, a city that bore Stalin's name, became a symbol of pride and defiance. As German forces advanced through the streets, Soviet resistance stiffened. The battle was brutal, fought house to house, room to room, in temperatures that froze the dead where they fell. Civilians were trapped in the ruins. Soldiers fought over every inch of ground. It was not just a battle for a city, it was a battle for the soul of a nation. Chapter 2. The Soviet Counterstrike. Then, in November 1942, the Red Army struck back. Using deception and precision, they encircled the German Sixth Army, trapping hundreds of thousands of men in the frozen ruins. As winter deepened, food and ammunition ran out. Hitler ordered them to hold their ground. Surrender was forbidden. But the Russian winter and Soviet determination proved stronger than orders. By February 1943, what remained of the Sixth Army surrendered. It was Germany's first major defeat and a turning point in the war. The myth of Nazi invincibility was shattered in the snows of Stalingrad. Chapter 3. Across the Ocean. The Battle of Midway. While Stalingrad raged in Europe, another decisive battle was unfolding thousands of miles away on the waves of the Pacific. After Pearl Harbor, Japan had sought to destroy the American Navy once and for all. In June 1942, their fleet moved toward a tiny atoll called Midway, unaware that their secret codes had been broken. Admiral Chester Nimitz and his American fleet lay in wait. When Japan's carriers launched their attack, US aircraft struck back with devastating precision, sinking 4 Japanese carriers in a single day. The balance of power in the Pacific shifted in hours. Midway proved that intelligence, courage, and timing could defeat even the strongest of forces. Chapter 4. The World Turns. Stalingrad and Midway, 2 battles, fought on opposite ends of the world, but bound by one truth. The tide of war had turned. Germany's armies began to retreat. Japan's empire began to crumble. For the first time, victory seemed possible for the Allies. The Axis still held vast territories, and years of bloodshed lay ahead, but the momentum of history had shifted. In the factories of America, the fields of Russia, and the hearts of millions, hope began to rise again. From the frozen ruins of Stalingrad to the endless seas of Midway, the world had witnessed the turning of the tide. The cost was unimaginable, but through sacrifice and resilience, the Allies began to push back against tyranny. The tide of war had turned, and soon, the world itself would begin to change. Subscribe for Episode 5, D-Day, the Invasion of Europe. How the Allies crossed the English Channel and began the final march toward victory.